finding some strategic partners who have common goal, but they are not competitor of yours. See, that's something because people like, to be work with you as long as they're complementing each other, their business and yours, and you're moving them along and giving them value to their audiences.
Yeah, and people talk about your Dream 100. So
Yeah.
if you wanted to create a list of your Dream 100 podcasts to be on, right? And so that might be a good drill because we're coming into the end of 2024 to start setting the tone. I've been saying this for a while. It's one thing I didn't execute on this year is getting on more podcasts, just from a time standpoint. But I know how critical that is. So that's what I'm focusing on right now is building out all the infrastructure to easily reach out in an authentic way to get on the big shows. And then that's gonna help me reach my goal, which is to help 100,000 aspiring entrepreneurs become successful business owners over the next 10 years. And that's how I'm going to do it.
Hi guys. Hey, Vinny and Beau are back. Friday, 9 a.m. Pacific and 12 noon over there in the East Coast. Love to come and, bring some great topics so that we can learn together. We can take our business to the next level. I hope you like it and give us comments. If you'd like to be a guest on our show, please let us know also. Beau, how are you, brother? Today's topic is really good. Yeah.
Yeah. I'm doing well. I'm crushing it. I think Crush 2024 it came true
Yes.
for me. I would say that I didn't hit all
Love it.
the goals, but I
Mhm.
came pretty darn close. So, how to grow your business through strategic partnerships and relationship building. I think this is like the number one thing you could do today to and I want to just kind of vet this out with you. I was just thinking
Mhm.
before we went live here, it's like what are the highest leverage activities you could do? For example, like I got on a recurring podcast show
Mhm.
and every week, and this year alone I've gotten so many inquiries from being just on that show each week.
Mhm.
And I'm like, that was just like it was one text. I texted the gentleman that runs the show. I said, I'd love to do a segment on your show. And after we did it, he said, would you like to come on every week? Because he has guests every week. And
Mhm.
it's created a lot of business opportunities, a ton. And that's just one text that,
Mhm.
was well worth over six figures. So there's a
Awesome.
lot of those out there, Vinny. And you're also very good at this. I mean, the networking, getting on different
Yep.
stages, right? Like
Yeah.
and I think that's like this. How do you get on? How do you ride other people's audiences? I think is key. Not to use
I
them, but it's so awesome.
I love that. I love that what you said. Actually, I had a keynote speech as we speak today, right there in Orlando, with 300 or 400 entrepreneurs at the business summit with my partner, Walter Amarello. Because of surgery, I cannot travel, fly, or like that. So I did a recording, video recording, and they're going to play that. And I sent 200 pairs of glasses, all these different kinds of glasses I wear. And it's kind of weird. I've been in that summit for 2 years. This is my third year, and we do that abundance mindset show. So that's a prime example how I'm able to get into that circle of so many business people, and I'm teaching them, I'm leading them, I'm changing mindset, I'm sharing the assisted living now, the senior assisted livings and the RALs and multifamily, and the whole ecosystem is using my underwriting tools and my PowerPoint projections, PowerPoints for the investors to raise money. So you're right, finding some strategic partners who have common goal, but they are not competitor of yours. See, that's something because people like, to be work with you as long as they're complementing each other, their business and yours, and you're moving them along and giving them value to their audiences.
Yeah, and people talk about your Dream 100. So,
Yeah,
if you wanted to create a list of your Dream 100 podcasts to be on, right? And so that might be a good drill because we're coming into the end of
yeah,
2024 to
yeah.
start setting the tone. That's I've been saying this for a while. It's one thing I didn't execute on this year is getting on more podcasts, just
Yes.
from a time standpoint. But I know how critical that is. So that's what I'm focusing on right now is building out all the infrastructure to easily reach out in an authentic way to get on the big shows. So then
Hmm.
that's gonna help me reach my goal, which is to help
Yeah.
100,000 aspiring entrepreneurs become successful business owners over the next 10 years, and that's how I'm
Yeah.
going to do it. I hope to
Actually,
do a million, but 100,000. I started at 10,000, but then I thought,
yes.
well, it's not me. I don't. It might not be me one on one, but
Yeah.
my message,
Hmm.
whether it's a
Hmm.
podcast, it's being on a stage, 1 million people will be my goal now.
Very possible, very possible. And if you look at it, in the whole world, we got 8.4 billion. So when you say 100,000 or 1 million, that's such a small percentage if you look outside the dot, right? And also be thinking that our great, USA, whatever works here in real estate, in franchises, everywhere, in Australia, in UK, I mean, you name it. All other parts of the world also, they can catch the fever. They could use those tools to perfect their businesses and so forth like that. One thing I was thinking was getting on other people's complimenting and giving their audiences great value. That's the key. So have that one page. If you have not put together a one page with your picture and what your background is, and I'm not saying you have it, other people who want to do it and be on the other person's podcast, there is a great website called Podmatch. I think it's called Podmatch. You can be just say that I want to be influencer. I don't have my podcast, or if you have a podcast, then you could do both. So other people can come on your show depending on the what you put down there, what kind of people you want, or you can be on other people's shows. So that's a good one. There are some other very good platforms also, but the biggest thing is to be authentic. What would you give to the audience? Why should they get you? And write a story. Storytelling, yeah, I'm finding is very big. You got to really pique the interest of the hosts so that they can say, you know what, this will be great because my audience can learn from these techniques and they can implement. That's what they are looking for.
Yeah, exactly. It was funny. A couple weeks ago, I got an email from a guy who does he he helps people create the processes to get on podcasts like efficiently,
I see.
get on the
Hmm.
big podcast. And I was going to pay. I have limited time, like you, Vinny. We're
Yep.
busy, so I was
Yep.
like going to pay a company that does they get you on shows, like they're like a
Yes.
like A to Z. But then I'm like, it wasn't that it was expensive, because I get an ROI no matter what, right? You're going to get
Yeah.
an ROI. But
Yep.
this guy sent me like a sales page email. It's like, hey, I'm
Hmm.
running this course. It's normally $2,500. It's $900 or whatever. And for whatever reason, I bought the course because I like this copy, and I'm like, I just need a system that I just follow to get on
Yep.
podcasts. So I bought his
Yep.
course,
Hmm.
and then I was started to go watch his videos, and then I started thinking about how do I know this guy? I just spent $1,000. How do I know the guy? Right? I didn't even know. I just bought it. Right? Like really
Yeah.
didn't know much about the guy. I just
Hmm.
I had buyer intent. Right? I just bought it, and then he starts talking, and he brought up the point about how he got on other shows and how how it's just like this whole weird network, the world. And then he started telling a story, and then I go, oh, he had bootstrapped a company and did like $2 million in sales, and I had listened to him on a podcast before.
Oh,
So
wow.
that's how I ended up getting on his mailing list, is because I opted in, and I
Wow.
totally forgot. And this might have been a year or two ago. So the point
Wow.
is like podcasts really work because I
Yep.
heard about him. I opted into his list, and now I just bought a $1,000 course from him.
2 years later, two
Yeah,
years later, see, that's a very big thing what you just said, Bo. A lot of times, us entrepreneurs, we want immediate sales. And it doesn't happen many times. You got to really build your brand. You got to give lots of, free things and everything. And then when the time is right, the when the like they say, when the student is ready, the teacher appears, kind of thing. Or when there is a right opportunity, then the people will seek out to you because you made a difference and so forth. The biggest thing I find is that we get frustrated when we do so much, so much, so much, and the closings don't come, and we are saying, you know what, is it worth the expense? It's not investment. Then you're saying we're just shelling out money every month. When are the leads going to convert and so forth, like that? I know I've been in that shoe. I mean, everybody gets in those shoes and say jeopardize, what's the game plan you are following up and so forth. Yeah.
yeah. I'm all about making investments, and most of the
Hmm.
investments I make, what I've realized is that sometimes it's not immediate results. I mean, like
Hmm.
sometimes you have to learn for a year before you start seeing the reaping the rewards.
Sure, sure.
So, like when I look back 4 or 5 years ago, I think it was 5 years ago now, when I wanted to get into into being a franchise consultant,
Hmm.
I had to spend money to go through the training institute, right?
Yeah,
Which,
right.
right, it was a big check. But the point was, I didn't make the money back the first year. I just spent learning. I wasn't in a rush. I had my other business going, but I
Hmm.
was learning over time. And then I said, okay, I've learned a lot, and I'm getting pretty good. I know this business. I dove in head first in the business, and now it's paid huge dividends. Right, like
Yeah.
the
Yep.
average sale I make is 30 grand. That's the average commission.
Yep.
So
Yep.
uh, you can do a lot of those in a year. Um,
Yep.
so
Sure.
I'm not afraid to invest in myself, Vinny, and I do that. And then I'm not afraid to invest in others. So today, before we got on,
Yeah.
for example, I was on a call with a lady I met through networking through the franchise association I'm a member of, and she's an immigration attorney, and she specializes. She has all these unique things.
Uh,
So I just was on a call with her after I had met her a day or two ago, or
yeah.
last week maybe, and now she's going to become a like a JV partner or a referral partner, right? And there's a lot of
Hmm.
things we can do. And so and then I showed her how I can create things, and I talked to her about, like, look, you have a message because you can really help people that want to immigrate to the States. She's really good at what
Hmm.
she does. So I'm going to help her blow up her YouTube channel, which is going to
Nice.
create a
Hmm.
lot of opportunities for me, both only to sell uh, franchises, but also get some referral fees for real estate deals. So those are the kind of strategic joint venture, or not. That's not really a joint venture, but affiliate partnership that you
Yes,
should be
affiliate.
growing. So, like, I'm going to have multiple streams, because anything that bolts into my business, not something that's like far off, like what I do on a daily basis. Like, I have VAs from a company, and they have an affiliate program. So I became a dealer of them. So
Ah.
a lot of my business owners need a VA, and I just make an introduction here. Use use these guys. Here's why. Here's how you can implement VAs. And then, like, that became a revenue stream, right? So like, what do you do for a living, and what can you bolt on? If I owned, let's say I became a residential assisted living facility owner here in Las Vegas,
Hmm. Hmm.
maybe I bolt in a placement service company where I place into different facilities. Maybe I bolt in a company that does age in place repairs. So you put handrails in houses. Like, I like bolt on into your business. And so I look at,
Hmm.
like, the same thing for strategic partnerships and joint ventures. I think that's just the ultimate way where you can really leverage, and then you can meet so many more people, because it's really about more people knowing who Vinny is, right? The more people that know
Yeah.
Vinny, the more people
Yeah.
who will invest in you, buy into a
Totally.
course, read your book, give you reviews.
Hmm.
It's good.
Very good, very good. No, I was just thinking, my affiliations in the last 2, 3 months have grown so much. And one of the one, by the way, somebody met me in Las Vegas last year, and they wanted to make Mini Vinny, if you remember, the AI model where I could be everywhere in the world on the laptop and people can talk to me, and it's coming to fruition, not with that company, because I said, hey, you're going to copyright all my material, all my books, all my knowledge, everything. What do I get? I think they said 12% or something till perpetuity, right? I said, take a hike, get out of my office. And now I'm able to work with this great company. They are doing everything to make my mini VR. Actually, it's Vinny AI, we are saying right now. And it's going to, people will know that it's AI and you can interact and ask questions. It will give you everything and it's totally mine. Wow. I mean, they'll have a setup fee or things like that. And I'm just talking yesterday, for $7 a month, people all over the world can get the knowledge, and it will do everything for you. This is mind blowing what they showed me,
Yeah,
so
I
go
was just
ahead, go
thinking,
ahead.
Vinny, like so many people book calls and ask me the same SBA questions. I could have
Again and again and
AI.
again.
Yeah. And it's already trained. It's going to say, oh, yeah. Like, the average call is, look, I want to buy a laundromat. Okay, well, if you're buying an existing business, the first thing you need to do is go get the seller's tax return because it's based on cash
Exactly.
flow. And it's just answering the questions. And then that would be amazing. Yeah. And that's where
No,
AI
I would
is.
love to. Let me perfect this, and I would love to introduce you. And of course, and they could do yours also. They have built this system so great now, even for universities, where universities have so much data, right? So they're able to put this in this model. And the beauty is that this model you buy, it's yours. I'm consulting with them, advising them, meeting them. Like we had 2 hours meeting yesterday, and they are looking into now one program we are designing because we are discussing today affiliation, right? Dentists. Wow. So there are, I don't know, 800,000 dentists in USA. And I know two very close ones to my life, and they have put together questions, answers of all the different questions. And we did even more research. And now we're going to go to some dental practices and ask them, hey, fill out this form. What are your most common asked 15 questions? We'll incorporate that with 800 more questions already in there. And now we could put that robot who's talking and answering questions, saving time and money and energy. And then it even makes schedules and puts the calendar appointments also, all while people are sleeping or while people are, interacting. So I'm very excited, and we're going to do it with 2, then 10. I was just saying, because we'll go into each city where I live right here. And we don't have to make meetings, but it's going to be, just flowing from there. So they want me to be a partner in that business and all. So it's a good thing. If you are consulting, you are teaching people, then I was asking them, okay, what's the next level? They were trying to tell me about something about real estate. And I said, okay, tell me, what are you thinking? And within 20 minutes, that idea they were thinking, we proved that it's not a good idea. So, then I showed them so many other things, and they were just so excited that, oh my gosh, Vinny, you know so much about real estate. We want to help in real estate, but, what segment should we take on? So, anyway, it's kind of like discussions for affiliation is so important. And, yourself, I mean, Bo, you are a great what's the word? Like, influencer yourself, uh, giving advice and being on, you don't want to be on the board and get all bogged down, but consulting and have a share in the business, just like Tony Robbins says, I've got billions or something revenues. He's got small portions in these companies. People run the company, but because he consulted with them, he got 10,
Mm.
15%, whatever it is. That's what I'm thinking in my life right now. How to be a partner. I'm also becoming a partner in Global Icon, Global IKON. It's music platform. It's a game of 9 months, and I'll send you some videos. I've been meeting with them every week, and they're going into safe round to raise money, but they've been doing it for 10 years. They have already built the company up to 30 million, and now we want to take it to 3 billion. So it's very exciting to really see. And this takes the artists who are nowhere, but they have potential. They are able to promote them and then take them to the next level. They have already built some artists in the last 10 years, and now we are taking next steps. So, there's so many great ways that you could impact, I think is the word.
Yeah,
Uh,
and you can get started. Like, what are you? If you're watching this episode right now, like, what are your
yeah,
skills, and how
yeah,
can you start? Let's call it consulting for equity, consulting
yep,
for affiliate
yep,
fees, consult.
yep,
Like, there's so much opportunity. Like when this lady
mhm,
reached out and she was interested in doing something with my summit.
yeah,
Like, I created a summit for her, and I already knew I was going to get her very interested because I
uh-huh.
already was thinking like 5 steps ahead. Then when we met the second time, I went into Gamma app. I had created a logo. I go, this is my next. And that's where we got, Freedom Formula Summit,
Yeah,
right? And
yeah,
so I strategically do those things. And then like
hmm
I'll just bring up this last point here because I
hmm
was in Evan Carmichael's mastermind on
yep,
YouTube. That's
hmm
where I met Tom, and then that's where I was like went for it, and now I'm writing a book with a good author, a big author, right? And
yep,
so these
hmm
relationships in these mastermind groups, and like anywhere I go now, I
yeah,
go in there, and I used to like go to an event and not try to talk to like I wasn't as social. But I go in
hmm
now, like when I went to the last business funding conference, I met some really great people. That's the thing
hmm
when you go to an event or a workshop or whatever, or you're out having coffee, go like for workshops or like an event, go with intent to meet people,
hmm
and then be good at figuring out where you can add value for them. And that's what I'm really good
totally.
at doing.
Yep,
So I can go like, hey,
that's
I can help it. Like the attorney today, Vinny, I was like, hey, here's how I'm going to help you, right? And I said,
yeah.
look, I'm people need what you do, and you said your
hmm
only problem is getting people to understand what you do. So we're going to launch a huge YouTube channel, which I'm really good at, right?
hmm
I'm gonna co-host the show with her because it's very simple. I already got editors.
Yep,
Now I just
hmm
created a huge new revenue stream. It's not going to get rich, in one episode, but when we do
right.
50 or 100 episodes, we're going to
Yep,
just like I do with my channel, we're going to start getting more leads, which are going to lead into
yeah.
franchise sales, lead into real estate deals, and more, right? And so those are the type of things I want to do because it's the best use of my time to be able to leverage other people's talents alongside mine, and then that's how I
So
can
true.
rely on people to grow, and I don't have to do everything myself because I don't want to either. Yeah,
I
I'd be
know
bored.
exactly. We have limited time. We got to really reinvent, I say, and add streams. The good part, what I'm really liking, Bo, is that law questions. People always have so many questions, but they cannot, hire attorneys to get answers because attorney fees are very high. CPA, accounting, tax. So I'm really proud that, you have two arms which is on everybody's mind: taxes, how to reduce legally taxes, and how to really take care of the legal paperwork and asset protection and partnerships and all that. So that's fantastic. Yeah.
Yeah. So my closing advice to everybody is: look, go out there, You probably
Hmm.
have a bunch of people in this phone that could make you a ton of money and you could
Yeah.
provide a lot of value to. Like you could probably just go through your phone if you were strategic and make hundreds of thousands of dollars, right? Like in this list here, there's a lot of amazing opportunities just right here. And you got the internet and you have AI now to help grow your network and you can and also you still got to get belly to belly and go to workshops and go to
Yeah.
events and
Hmm.
masterminds and like get around people and then co-create because that's where everything's going anyways.
So true, Bo. And last thing I'd like to leave with everybody, where Vinny Chopra is today. In the last 17 years, I learned the power of raising money. I think where I am today, if I have to just point out one thing, is that I was able to learn the techniques, how to really get a good deal in real estate. In my case, it could be business, it could be anything, and put together a good business plan with a good, solid thing, and then share with your family, friends. That's exactly what I did. And they gave me money after money, 50,000, 100,000, 200, 500, and raised over $200 million. I mean, it can happen for everybody. It starts small with everybody, but you got to, if you're doing things small scale, because you have limited funds of equity, we call it, or down payments for assets or like that, get into learning that skill, how to raise money. Then only you can go bigger. Unless you go into more affiliations like we talked about and everything, but you're still looking at growing your business. But if you are in real estate, I would highly recommend that you really learn the art of syndication. Syndication, some people think it's a bad word. It's not. If you do it right, you learn, just like I've done, you could do it. I know, Bo, you have done it, joint partnerships, others, raising money. That's the key to success. To scale up, you you have in your iPhone, just like Bo was saying, your 20 investors. First 20 investors are in your iPhone right now.
That would be a great webinar, Vinny, that would be a good webinar for you. A good title. Your first
Yeah,
20 investors are in your iPhone or in your phone,
I love it. I
right?
love
And
it.
that's
I
the
love
truth, guys. Like it's so
it.
powerful. And and what Vinny just said, I'll just wrap this up here.
Mhm.
Vinny, going back 17 years when he started raising money and so forth, he used these strategies. He would get belly to belly with people.
Yes.
He'd meet
Yes.
them, and over
Yes.
time they would introduce him to other people. And over time they
Yep.
would social
Yep.
proof. Hey, I've invested with Vinny. We got a great return. And then people hear
Mhm.
that, right? And then he grew even bigger. He wrote a book. He got on
Yep.
multiple podcasts. He grew through what we were just talking about, through strategic partnerships, through getting on other people's podcasts, right? That's how you were able to raise $200 million.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
So true. So true. And it's not hard. I think the biggest thing I find is you got to take action. And some of my students are raising in 3 years $200 million. It took me so long to do it, but they are doing it. It's amazing. These techniques are not that hard to learn. The biggest thing is action and following a good blueprint. So if anybody would like to know more about it, just reach out to vinnychopra.com and boexteam.com. We are here to take your business to the next level. That's what we do. We kind of share the techniques that are working for us, and we are pivoting, we are changing. That's the key. If you're in a rut, if you're just, stagnant, I always say that business is never stagnant. It's going down or going up. It's never, at one place. So I hope you like this show and I hope you share this with other people and come back and see us again, 9 a.m. Pacific, 12 Eastern. See you next week.